Hello everyone and welcome to Some Puck's Cuisine. My name is Harper if you did not know, and today I am going to show you how to make my version of a breakfast quesadilla. So of course the ingredients and the written out recipe will be down below in the description, so if you want to check it out there. And let us begin by first cutting up the chorizo. Now you can easily swap out chorizo for bacon or sausage or whatever other ingredients you want. I use chorizo because I really like it a lot. It gives a great seasoned taste with the ensemble dish, but if you don't want to have chorizo or you can't find chorizo in your grocery store, easily swap out and it will work out really fine. But more or less cut it up. Now I cut them up in thin strips, and honestly I would say cube them. I've cubed them before and they kind of burnt accidentally because I put them on a little bit too long, and for some reason I was like, oh, they'll burn again, but they actually didn't. I was just being stupid. And that's what happens when you make food in the morning. You forget stuff. So more or less don't follow the B-roll footage, and then also cut up the onions, the tomatoes, and of course the cilantro. Now I used a lot of cilantro because I love cilantro a lot, but if you are like my mother and hate it with a passion, or don't hate it with a passion but don't like it as much, my mom can't really hate people, but more or less, if you don't like cilantro, of course you don't have to have it. But you know, again, I like it a lot. It goes really well with, you know, the whole dish, so it's your choice again. As before, this recipe is insanely customizable and it's really up to you and your taste preferences and blah 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 blah. But more or less, after all the ingredients are cut up, start heating up your pan that you'll be cooking your egg and your chorizo in. Now when the pan is slightly smoking, put in your chorizo or your meats and cook them to your liking. Now if you want really crispy chorizo, I would say around 3 to 4 minutes, and if you just want, you know, a little bit brown, slightly crispy, I would say around 1 to 2 minutes. Now after the chorizo is done cooking, start heating up your griddle as you also scramble up the eggs. Now of course scrambling the eggs is very simple. Just crack the egg, season with salt and pepper, and then finally just scramble them up. Now I didn't cook them all the way because they will finish cooking in the quesadilla, but cook them enough that, you know, there's no like weird gooey snot like uncooked whites of the eggs. You know, it is cooked but it's also very runny. And then when that is done, of course remove it from the pan and let it set until you're ready for everything else. Now when that is done, you can also create, you could say, a very lazy version of a pico de gallo. So in a small bowl, just pour in your cilantro, your diced tomatoes, and your diced onions, and then mix it together with some lime. Now I did not have any jalapenos, sadly there weren't any in the store, but if you want to have a little bit of a spicy taste with a jalapeno, of course also dice up the jalapeno and place it in this mixture too. Again, a very lazy version of a pico de gallo, but for some reason the pico de gallo really helps elevate the dish to a point that I was actually very surprised about when I first made this dish. But more or less, when the pico de gallo is done, you can come over to the stove. The griddle should be heated enough where you can place down a large tortilla and then also sprinkle on your cheese. Now when the cheese is melted or slightly melted, place down the scrambled eggs and then the chorizo and then finally your pico de gallo. And then after all of it is placed on the quesadilla, fold the quesadilla so, you know, everything is covered, and then press down as hard as you can. Now I used a spatula and then I used a clean plate on the bottom to press down the quesadilla, and you're more or less wanting to press everything down so number one, it combines and nothing falls out, but also pressure plus heat on any kind of sandwich or quesadilla or really any kind of foldable handheld meal is amazing. You know, the flavors combine, everything melts really well. It just becomes this amazing meal, and as usual, I love saying a pressed sandwich or quesadilla in this case is the best sandwich or quesadilla in this case. So more or less when the quesadilla is pressed down pretty nicely for maybe you could say a minute or so, flip it over, press it down a couple more times, and then it should be done cooking. Take it off of the griddle, bring it over to a plate, or as I use, a cutting board, cut it open and enjoy. This is an amazingly simple but also very delicious meal. It is an enjoyable breakfast for you to have at least once per week, or at least once in your lifetime. But with that, that is the end of the video. So of course, if you like this video, just click that like. If you want to see more from moi, just subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you next time, and as usual, goodbye!